It will be a hard life, one without reward, without remorse, without regret. A path will be placed before you. The choice is yours alone. Do what you think you cannot do. It will be a hard life, but you will find out who you are.
Hello! Hey guys, what's happening? It's BigJackFilms here. Welcome to another live stream. How are y'all doing? Hope all is good. Let's just put on that Star Wars shit here. If I can like put on the music here. One moment. Yeah. So it's the usual live stream. We're starting a little early, and on top of that, we're editing episode 3 today. So yeah, that's what's happening today. Also, this thing. You're looking at this like, what the hell? So, went to the toy fair. There was a toy fair in Mississauga over the weekend, and I got this big puppy. It's like a freaking RPG. Yeah, I got the Micheal Apatosaurus. This thing's huge. Like, I'm shocked how big this thing is. Oh my god. So yeah, just picked that up recently. Pretty cool actually. So yeah, that's a thing that happened recently. I went to the toy fair, just picked up a couple things and so on. Bought Honeygirl a really nice bag, like a Star Wars bag, which is cool. And yeah, May the 4th weekend is happening. So a couple things, of course, guys. Tomorrow, as you guys saw in that little ad, that little advertisement, yeah, Phantom Menace review. Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which I think is like the basic time code, a time zone or whatever. But yeah, we got that going on tomorrow night. Looking forward to seeing everybody there. But in the meantime, yes, we are going to be editing Star Wars Episode 3. Not an opening night, but the review, which it's going to be out at some point. There might be a slight delay on it because it is a massive episode, but yeah, we're starting work on that today. So, of course, guys, the basic rules, essentially, obviously keep, here's the thing for anybody who wants me to react to something, please use super chats only. That's what we do there. So we really appreciate that. And that's happening, and keep questions minimal. Yeah, if you guys have any questions and stuff, we'll try to answer them while we stream. But yeah, it's all about episode 3 today. Just editing that all together and having some fun. So yeah. Also a little update about episode 2. Episode 2 is about 75% finished. I got the review portion done. I still have to film the host segments at some point. We're going to do that tomorrow. And then I've got, I'm doing sound mixing on all the major sequences right now because all the effects are done on episode 2. So it's getting assembled as we speak. So far, 3 scenes have been sound mixed, which is awesome. And it's going to be exciting. So there we go. Question, where do you rate Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire? It's tough. So lowest ranking for me is 2014 still. Godzilla King of the Monsters is still top 1. So the first one, that's the best one. I think I'd put Godzilla vs. Kong second place, Kong Skull Island third, Godzilla X Kong fourth, and then Godzilla. I still like Godzilla X Kong. I just think the other few were a little better. So, yeah, let's get started on Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Now, I should point out to you guys that, yes, I did see the movie last weekend. I saw it with Josh. We had an excellent time on Revenge of the Sith. It was a blast, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. There was really a lot of fun to watch on the big screen, and I'm probably going to go back again this weekend for the May the 4th weekend. So, give my chance to see it a few more times. But yeah, I'm really, really excited. Really excited to see all the outcomes coming in for episode 1 and 2. But episode 3 is what we're working on today. And this is a monster. Just to clarify, these are all the little audio chapters that I did. And right now, it's about 26, and we've only done 6. So we still have 20 more to go. If y'all thought episode 1 and 2 were big, episode 3 is going to be a monster. So let's just get to it, basically. And it's mainly just audio. By the way, spoilers for my take on episode 3, because we're just doing audio today. Awesome! Looking forward to seeing that, David. That sounds amazing. Oh my god, yes. I love that. Shredder and Gallaghar, let's fucking go. And yeah, most of the villains are really pushing aside in any character development themselves. With Gunray to all Jacob's Pet, and Count Dooku, all of them have great ideas. Let's see here. Sabers, Reeves. Okay. Yeah, we're just basically editing episode 3. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith is fantastic. Like, number 2 at the box office over the weekend. It's the highest grossing re-release of all time, which is crazy. Like, that's insane. But it's amazing. I love it. I love that Star Wars is kind of making a comeback right now. Perfect timing for our prequel reviews. And have great ideas, but feel like afterthoughts in this entire trilogy. Is that on repeat? Hang on. Put it on repeat? Here we go. So, imagine walking to a dinosaur style aliens in Star Wars. That'd be kind of cool. Is your episode 3 review going to be 2 or 3 part review like Ready Player One? No. Unlike those reviews, what's interesting is that this is going to be, I don't know why that's there. Holy crap, I got messages like crazy. What's interesting about these episodes is that they are going to be contained. They're not going to be split off because we want to stay like tradition like the other trilogy. We want them to be 3 videos each. So I know that would technically mean more money, but you know what? I like to keep those consistent. So we're pushing to have all 3 episodes be consistent. So I'll just make an estimate because episode 1, The Phantom Menace, which will premiere tomorrow at 9, is going to be 1 hour and 34 minutes. It is a long review, one of our longest to date. Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, we're reckoning about 1 hour 45 minutes. So it's about 15 minutes longer than Phantom Menace. And then we have episode 3. I'm gambling about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, because that's just going to be a monster. But it's just a lot happens in episode 3. What's this question here? Is there a way I can let me make this switch this. There we go. Would you consider yourself a self-taught filmmaker? Absolutely. I never went to film school. I never went to really any kind of film school, to be honest. I didn't feel the need for it because, you know, when I was growing up, I had what's called DVDs, bonus features. In fact, hold on a second. I gotta show y'all something. One moment. I'll be right back. Also, I'm still like that. Alright, so just to point this out, basically this. I'm just going to point this out for everybody who is interested, right? My education, because, you know, self-taught filmmaker, I didn't go to school, I didn't go to college, but I grew up, see, things like this were my film course. Shit like this, like box set, DVD box sets, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Colin, Jurassic Park. These were my film courses. And it's not the movies themselves, but it's the audio commentaries, it's the documentaries, it's all the bonus features packed into physical media. I actually tell a lot of people, you want Film Course 101, get something like this. Like the extended edition Lord of the Rings, it is packed with film education, with how to do stuff. Even like the production diaries that Jackson did in the 2005 film, the 2-disc DVD of Kong, the Jurassic Park sets, like all this and books is the only knowledge you need to set your course for filmmaking. And I tell a lot of people that, like, this was my education, packed with hours of research for anybody interested. Like, I just watched some of this today, and there was a quote that Peter Jackson said, because they were talking about Tolkien when he wrote Lord of the Rings, and how Tolkien, when he made the books, he was horrified that people were making allegories on his books about the current state of the world at the time, which was right in the heart of World War II. And Tolkien said that, like he didn't like allegories. And Jackson famously quoted this phrase, I think applying modern political thinking into a story that is essentially 50 years old is a little inappropriate. That sums up Hollywood right now. They are throwing current thinking into old stories, and they just don't fit. And that is the problem with sequels in Hollywood right now. And I agree with them 100%. So there's just so much knowledge. It's not just like, just a prime example, it's not just like, here's how you make this happen, here's how you make this part of the movie happen, here's how the camera works, how the storyboards work, all this stuff. Like, it's not just that. There's a lot of philosophical things in storytelling, in stuff like this, in these sort of like box sets, because you learn a lot about filmmaking, not just how to do it, but how to present it, what is philosophically good to show. There's a lot of that packed in that, and that was my film course, essentially. So if you guys want film education 101, and especially on the cheap, like, I know physical media is starting to become a bit more collectible, but you can still go to thrift shops and find good condition DVDs. Get stuff like this. Get DVDs. Watch the movie, but watch the commentary. Go to the second disc. Plow through those bonus features. You find so much education through those than you do film courses. So this saves you thousands of dollars of school funding, of like, college debts and stuff. That's just my perspective. Self-taught is a very big gift that I really appreciate having. So there you go. We went on a bit of a tirade there, but let's go back to episode 2. I will try to answer questions as much as I can. Favorite Stephen King? I like It, the 1990 film. That's my personal favorite. So yeah, it's just, that's just just make your own, really, and just do with it what you will. At this point, I don't think most studios care. So yeah, we're gonna get back to business here.
This entire trilogy. Let's see here. With the same being for the awesome arrival of the Droid Commander and Jedi Slayer, General fucking Grievous.
Yeah, we're talking about General Grievous here, which is cool. But yeah, this is all for episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. The Shining is good. Allosaurus has seen this bullshit before he left. Actually, I don't know if you know this, I just found this out. There was a recent study that Big Al was a female. And I'm like, did y'all just retcon the Big Al ballad? Oh, as much as, okay, fine, I'll accept the truth. But you ruined that special for me. How could you?
Now, I know I promised to stay clear of any non-film material, but this guy needs to come.
So, one of the struggles in reviewing the prequels that I've noticed, the constant need to go back to the Clone Wars. I know a lot of critics of the prequels can do that, but a lot of the times, for me personally, it's hard to look at these movies now without the Clone Wars, without the expanded material. He wasn't just a female, he was a mom. Oh my, are you serious? Like, so that's what really upsets me. That whole special is now retcon. It's now I see why they're remaking it, because of shit like that, you know? So, by the way, guys, go check out Dean's latest review on Reanimated. Never heard of this movie, but the storyline he's got set up is fantastic, and it does set up things for Star Wars. So go check it out. It's on Lightpost Films channel.
Any non-film material, but this guy needs some context with how awesome he is. And that becomes a villain.
Now, it's funny too, I'll say this. With Revenge of the Sith, watching it in theaters, something I've made mental notes, because I'm going to be doing some little tweaks here in the review and add some stuff. One of the things I thoroughly really enjoyed about seeing it again on the big screen was looking at the backgrounds. And a lot of Coruscant, and really appreciating the backgrounds and appreciating the digital realm of Coruscant and how it looks. It still looks like a believable city to this day. On the big screen, you just see so much more. And some things I noticed is that some of the buildings, I swear they took templates from New York, Chicago, and stuff, and especially in the lighting. There's something about the lighting, looking at it on the big screen, it looks phenomenal.
Awesome he is. And that didn't come from the film. And that didn't come from episode 3.
So yeah, right now, and yes, this is where I used to, but I grew up, so I don't really watch it anymore.
And that didn't come.
Oh, that joke already exists. Oh, what do you want? You want the boat? Well, what do you say I put a rope around it and pull it down for you? I already know about that. There was an old skit on a show called The Wrong Coast. I don't know if you guys remember The Wrong Coast. It was a satirical comedy satire of Entertainment Tonight. And oddly enough, Star Wars, it stars Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill voiced a character named Jameson Burkright, who is one of the reporters on the show. And there is a skit that actually did called Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom like 20 years before it existed. Because one of the hosts is like, hey, what do you do when you make Jurassic Parks 1, 2, 3, and 4? Even 4 existed. You make Jurassic Park 5. And they have it where, like, they do the human dino hybrids, but they're spliced with dead movie stars, which have their heads on these dinosaurs, and they just quote old movies. And there's something oddly funny about that. Yeah, there's like a John Wayne Stegosaurus and a, Katharine Hepburn pterodactyl. And it's really funny. Unfortunately, it is very hard to find. It kind of it's hard to find. It's like lost media. But, I remember this skit. Hi, Toon King. I'm actually going to watch Ultraman Rising, pretty soon. I've just been so caught up with Star Wars right now, but I am on it, Toon King. I am on it. Favorite Star Wars alien? Kind of like the Twi'leks, and I like whatever, Chuck T is. Those are cool designs. Also, I like the, whatever Greedo is. Not much, Alejandro. We're just working on episode 3.
And that didn't come from episode 3. Much like Boba Fett, his first appearance was in an animated microseries with cartoon microseries.
Put that out of the way.
Microseries.
There. Also, by the way, my foot is still in a little bit of pain. So I just gotta keep an eye on that. In fact, I'm taking Tomo right now. Yeah, I really like Tarkovsky's Clone Wars. That's my personal favorite. I don't know what that is, but that's interesting. Hey! Wow! $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Toon King. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I will definitely, I will look at Ultraman at some point. I'm going to try to look at it this week and get a hold of it, but I really appreciate that $2, man. That really comes in handy. Thank you so much. Again, guys, shoot the super chats. It really does come in handy. All right, let's get to it.
series with Cartoon Network's Star Wars Clone Wars, created by Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jax. There we go.
Jax, created by Samurai Jack's Genny Kurakovsky. Wars. Created by Samurai Jack's Genny Kurakovsky. And then the fight, and then the finale to season fight, and then the finale.
There's a lot to work on still with this. Hi, Starmaster. And Dude King, really appreciate that, man. Like, really does help out a lot. Thank you so much.
And then the finale to season 1, we are introduced to General Grievous in one of the most thrilling, terrifying, and coolest entrances.
Yeah, I am gonna watch Ultraman Rising because Dude King did put in money on Patreon, which I really appreciate. Also, everybody who is new to Patreon, like we've been going up, really appreciate the help and support.
Interesting and cool, terrifying.
Would Bo-Katan look good with the tactical helmet? I don't know much about Bo-Katan. You know, can I just say, you know what's funny, Alejandro? I have not watched any of the post-Jedi shows yet, aka the Mandoverse. I haven't watched anything. And I'm going to eventually. I know, I will say actually a little announcement in terms of opening nights in May. They're mostly going to be dedicated to Star Wars because I will be reviewing a few of the Disney Plus shows. And I won't say what they are, but I've done 2, and I've got 2 more to work on when I'm going to watch those. But I am going to look at Ultraman Rising. Now, Osiris, you could probably clarify this for me. Ultraman Rising, is that a show or a movie? Because if it's a movie, it'll be a lot easier. So just asking.
Terrifying and coolest entrances to any character in the Star Wars saga.
It's funny because this will be my first time watching something Ultraman. I've never got into it.
Please.
I never got into Ultraman.
Please. General Grievous is...
Yeah, I will bring up Clone Wars. Because it's just, at this point, there's no choice.
General Grievous is...
Okay, perfect. The movie just makes it so much easier for me to sit through. So I will more than likely either tomorrow after I finish filming or I don't know, like I just gotta figure that out, but like I know I have to be back for the premiere at 9 tomorrow, but I gotta be filming a lot tomorrow as well. So I will let you guys know when I start watching that.
Just a badass and made a very positive impression on fans when this episode dropped.
Yeah, we're just cutting the fat.
A positive impression on fans when this episode dropped. Especially when he...
I don't know if she would be into Ultraman. I mean, it's weird as we're binging a lot of Sailor Moon season 3. Not the new dub. We're watching the Cloverway dub. It's for nostalgia purposes. And that's really the only tokusatsu thing she can really watch right now because she grew up with that.
Especially when he kills the Jedi apprentice.
And yes, I am aware. I've known for years that Jedi that Grievous kills is Shaggy. And is Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Only thing I wish they did was they got Casey Kasem to voice him.
Especially when he kills the Jedi apprentice known as Shaggy. Yes, that is meant to be...
That's fantastic, Dean. I'm proud of you. Well done on that review, by the way.
Yes, that is meant to be a reference to that Shaggy.
I know for me, especially after Star Wars, after this, Revenge of the Sith, I am going to take a break myself. but it's going to be a while for me to like come back fully on ambitious projects.
The mystery of this character, his impressive speed and skills with the lightsaber,
and yeah, I am aware George Lucas did provide the coughing for Grievous. Just to answer that guy's question from above the chat, I'm aware of that. Okay.
And his chilling presence left fans stunned and engaged with who he was, and something that would conclude.
Okay. I know, I can tell it took forever. Do you think military body armor can stop a blaster bolt? I don't know. I think it's built on that. So I think the armor is built to stop bullets. I am aware it's on Netflix. Thank you, Toon King.
With who he was, and something that would conclude and expand in episode 3. And in that sense, while being all done and in that sense.
Okay.
And in that sense, while all being done in CGI, ILM had some of the best work in the film done with this character. Granted, it has to go to not just the animators, but the production design, who's animators.
Yeah, Styracosaurus needs more love. He hasn't been popular since the he hasn't been really that popular since I'd say like the stop motion era. Like he's had his moments, but not as much as most other. I mean, I'll say this: Triceratops has been shoved lately, and am I the only one who thinks Triceratops needs more representation?
Not just the animators, the production design, who spent months.
I would say, okay, because a show, I have to redo some of the tiers, but because a show takes longer, it would be probably double or triple a movie request, basically.
Months creating the final design. What the conceptual artist.
Yeah, I have a stubbed toe. My toe is just like still in a lot of pain, guys. Like I still can't like do a full sprint. Like I can't walk or anything or pull it too much because I actually tried to do it the other day and it just I actually kind of re-injured it a little bit.
At months creating the final design, but the concept.
No worries, Alejandro.
Spent months creating the final design and his incredible design. In his incredible and creating the final design.
Has it been 25 years since we've seen a Styracosaurus on the big screen? Like, not even Jurassic World acknowledging it? That's shocking. Like, that's actually shocking. Also good to see you, Matt. I haven't seen you in a while.
Final design and his incredible voice provided by sound designer Ben Burt's protege, Matthew Wood. This was so much art. There was so much.
Oh no, this is where I have to kind of come in and actually add something. Hey! Xandrew jumps in with that $50 super chat. Oh my god, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Money Attack, how you, Jack? Just saying before I head to work. Hope your foot feels better. With that said, see ya. Thank you so much, man. Bless your heart. God bless your soul, man. You are awesome. Really appreciate that super chat. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my god, you do God's work, man. It's incredible. Thank you. Honestly, thank you so much. That's a lot. Wow, we hit 52 today. Woo! Can we hit 100? Honestly, guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Everybody who brings in super chats. Xandrew, Toon King, you guys are the best. Honestly, the best. Oh my god, like I really appreciate that. Gonna play for 10 opening nights with that. Oh my god, yeah, like it's crazy. Like I really gotta get more on those opening nights. I still have a backlog of stuff too. Like that's crazy. Thank you, man.
So much artwork done on this guy. Now,
oh no! Oh no! The horrific movies you can make me watch. At that point, I'd watch all of a Sentai for that. You know? Oh my god! I mean, I'd have to binge the fuck out of it, but you know what I mean. I mean, the only Sentai I fully watched was Kyoto Sentai Zyuranger, just because of Mighty Morphin. Shit slaps.
On this guy, now, some of it was used to create the. Used to create the. And some of it was used. Some of it was used to create.
Yeah, sometimes I also stutter, so I have to. Yeah, again, it's basically trimming the fat on this.
And some of it was used to ultimately.
Forrest Gump is still a good movie. I'll say that. Like, it's a good movie. It's a good story, just a simple story about a guy's journey. I'll say this, though, in terms of disability representation, I think it's a little lackluster, and it's a little stereotypic, but honestly, it's a good movie. Yeah, there has not been a Styracosaurus on screen since Dinosaur. That's shocking. That's actually kind of sad. Oh, and Pachyrhinosaurus. Also, I like Pachyrhinosaurus is cool.
It was used to ultimately create the final look of it. But some of it was used to create the look of.
If this is some kind of a joke, it's not funny. And I know funny. I'm a clownfish. That's funny.
But some of it was used to create the look of Grievous' guards, which in of themselves are equal. Grievous' guard, which.
The original Power Rangers on ABC Kids, but I did watch a few others. Did you watch the special editions that I think is the special edition still on Netflix? I don't know. That's interesting. We rarely hear you talk about a film pacing. How would you define pacing? So the trick is to not have your audience get bored. And there can be times where if you repeat the same dialogue, if you repeat the same stuff, and it just goes on for too long, you end up boring your audience. I know this, I also know this, in terms of just some scenes that may be ambitious but are a little lackluster, some that just drag out the story. Like, prime example, I look at King Kong as an example. While it's sad that a lot of creatures, like the Styracosaur, the spider pit scene, the two Triceratops that Kong fights in that quicksand, well, a lot of that was cut. And it's sad that it was cut. It didn't really serve the story, like the pace of the story that was supposed to be a bit more quicker by the time you get to the island. And I think it does drag it out. I mean, I look at the same thing with the extended cut of Kong 76. While I love that extended cut, I do feel there's a lot that is a little boring. That is a little bit like, okay, I can see why they cut this. While it's cool to see, it's not something like I need to watch in every version. Even my cut of Kong, it pushed it. It was it was a little too long, in my opinion. The first cut was 4.5 hours. I had to trim that down to 2.5. So even I knew, okay, some stuff has to be removed. Worst movie I've ever seen, still King of the Lost World. I think I did, and I also watched the movie Turbo and so on. Yeah, again, Power Rangers is good. It's a good series. RPM I haven't watched though.
Grievous' guards, which in of themselves are. Which in of themselves are equally cool to see.
Really? Was that bad, Osiris? With Nicolas Cage, right? I could have sworn that would have been okay, at least.
C, also including the first canonical weapons that could block lightsabers, or as Lucas put it.
That's where I have to add like a little bit where he says about the kryptonite. There's a great quote, like how Lucas came up with the idea of the bodyguard staffs for that block lightsabers. Let me see if I can find that clip. I can show you guys that quickly. Artemis, oh, I heard that was bad. I heard that was really, really bad. Like, that was not a good movie at all. Okay, let me see if I can find this clip from episode 3. Let me see here. Let me just try to go through the props here. Hang on, let me just go through it here. See here. Oh yeah, here. Just skim through here. Alright, so I'm just gonna see if I can pull this up to the stream. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about here, what Lucas brings up here. Let's see here, share screen, window, here. So let me guys, if you guys can see this. So this is what Lucas was talking about, like when he was creating the staff that would be used to block the lightsaber. Watch this.
Here, having an energy beam in the middle of it that can block lightsabers. Well, yeah, I'll show you how that works. Okay.
I had to think of something that you could fight with a laser sword that we haven't done before, but it wasn't a laser sword. So I came up with these staffs, that are electric staffs that laser sword can't cut through.
So how come I actually wonder, Hasbro or what is it, the NeoPixel guys who make the really good lightsabers, why the fuck haven't we gotten this as like a toy yet? The bodyguard staff. I'm waiting for that staff. I've been waiting for that for 20 years. How have we not gotten that as a toy? Like, I would have killed for the bodyguards. I actually would have preferred that to the lightsaber. I actually would love to come out to an event, right? Like, I would love to come out to an event at a Star Wars event, see everybody with a lightsaber, and here I am pulling in with the freaking bodyguard staff. Because that thing is cool. Like, look at this shit.
And then the beam goes along here between it. If you got a laser sword that will cut through anything and do anything, then you're sort of stuck. It's like Superman. Superman without kryptonite wouldn't work.
See, that's a good, this thing.
Grievous bodyguard staff, which electrifies in the film.
Like, I actually need that. I need that as a toy, Hasbro.
Basically, it's the only weapon that can't be destroyed by a lightsaber.
Yeah, I need this. Like, I need this shit. So I feel like, honestly, like, that would be some Lucasfilm and Hasbro could make is that prop. Like, I would kill for that. Like, even if NeoPixel got to it first, that would be phenomenal if they could do that. Would you guys want that as a toy? I think that'd be kind of kick-ass. Honestly, I think that would be amazing. If they can make that into a toy, like, chef's kiss. So I love that quote, too. Like, he's like, you got a laser sword that could cut through anything, you're stuck. It's like Superman. Superman without kryptonite wouldn't work. He's absolutely correct, because the lightsaber is like Superman. And you need some kryptonite. I like it that there's now materials that can actually deflect hypercrystal energy. Like we see in episode 3, we have those staffs, but then I think in the Acolyte, which I have seen, but I'll have opinions for that later. I like the fact that that guy's helmet can disable lightsabers. I like that the lightsaber isn't always isn't invincible. It can be either destroyed, corrupted, it can be blocked, it can be deactivated. There's ways around it, which I think is really cool. Yeah, there was apparently a whole scene where Obi-Wan was going to fight the guards instead of just doing the whole crush thing, which is interesting. There's a lot that was cut from Revenge of the Sith. I like Tim Hortons, great man.
Originally, George Lucas wanted actor Gary Oldman, of all people, to voice the droid general.
Yeah, fun fact, it was actually supposed to be Gary Oldman. And I don't know why. Well, we know, well, I explain why.
Not only being a member of the Actors Guild,
Yeah, apparently Gary Oldman was going to play General Grievous. Oh, I heard Gamera is good. I haven't fully watched that. I'm almost finished. The fan art design maybe could use this Gallaghar look. I'll see. Let's see what happens.
Great general. But not only being a member of the Actors Guild and being signed up for Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins make available.
I have not seen Gamera. I mean, I've seen bits and pieces of it, but Gamera is just meh. Yeah, Gary Oldman was almost Grievous. I mean, that would be cool, actually, Nisa. That would be cool if Tarek came back. Tarek was a great character.
Well, but Gary Oldman himself being tired of his typecasting playing villains and wanted to explore other roles in acting. Namely the hero after pulling that off surprisingly.
There we go. All right. Again, just trimming the fat.
For pulling that off surprisingly with Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Do you know about YouTube membership? Do you tend to? I would, but I don't know how. I gotta figure that out. It's a little tricky dicky for me. Out of all the villains in fiction, who would you compare Gallaghar to the most? It's a mix of a couple of things. It's Sauron, it's Lord of Darkness, it's Naraku, mainly in the personality, Joffrey from the Thrones, Palpatine. It's a lot of those mixed into one. Is the best way I can describe it. I have heard I'm actually okay with that. Just give me the classic themes, give me the Lost World theme, and I'll be okay. Yeah, Darkness from Legend. Terra's last appearance was in Teen Titans, was in All Things Changed, the Teen Titans Go during final appearance was a two-part episode, Girls 90. Yeah, I didn't see that. I acknowledge that Teen Titans Go doesn't exist. Favorite thing to eat in Chicago? What was my favorite thing to eat in Chicago? I mean, I heard their pizza's good. I've never gotten a chance to fully try their pizza. I mean, I had one pizza that was good. I had it when Sean and I went when we went to Galloping Ghost one year, and it was decent pizza. Like, it was good. But I don't know. Like, I haven't tried enough Chicago food to have an opinion. So, let me do it like Peter Griffin does. I kind of care for The Godfather. Kind of care. I know it insists upon itself. There you go.
Well, it would be cool. To see Gary take on the role. Matthew Wood left a great impression on the film, and while some fans also love what voice actors.
What's your favorite burgers? It's McDonald's, it's Burger King. Actually, we have one here in Canada called Harvey's. Harvey's is fantastic. It's all Canadian made, and it's juicy, and it's delicious, and it's amazing. See, here in Canada, we have something called a poutine. I don't know if you guys have it. You guys probably don't have it in the States. But I'm surprised America doesn't have it. It's like it would be the ultimate fry for them. So a poutine is French fries with gravy, and like melted, melted mozzarella cheese. And it is so good. It is like melty. It's so juicy. It's so good. Let's see here. Right.
Well, it would be cool to see Gary take on the role. Matthew Wood left a great impression on the film, and while some fans also love what voice actors.
Let's see here.
John DiMaggio and Richard McGork. John DiMaggio and Richard.
Yeah, there's a lot to go on here. Yeah, again, let's see what happens. I don't want too much to be given away, but, like, honestly, really excited for Rebirth.
You know, the goal brought to
Scuzzlebutt has invaded the stream run. Oh no! Yeah, like, honestly, come to Canada. Okay, best poutines made are from Burger King, Harvey's, and Costco. Make the best shit.
Richard McGorgle brought to the Clone Wars.
Okay.
Wood is my personal favorite. Wood is my personal favorite, given he's the most
I'll definitely maybe at some point take a look at it. I just haven't had time to see. I mean, Revenge of the Sith was actually, funny enough, the one movie lately I've been wanting to see. And I saw it, it was great. I'm actually going to go see it this weekend with Honey Bear. So, yeah.
Given he's the most consistent. No, I'm not the biggest fan of the constant coughing. This was actually Lucas. This was actually Lucas doing a cough, given he was suffering a bit of a cough. Lucas doing a cough. Given he was suffering a bit of a cold at the time, and they decided to make a character. Not to mention explaining it in the clone.
You're just making me crave of cheese fries, yet I had 2 McChickens with French fries. That sounds delicious. We do got Harvey's in the States, and there's something named Carl Jr.'s. I've had is it Hungry Jack's? I can't remember. I had something in Florida that was like a really good like chicken burger there. Oh, that would have been interesting. I mean, Mosasaurus was basically a good replacement.
Not to mention explaining it in the Clone Wars, in Tarek. Not to mention explaining it.
There we go.
In the Clone Wars, in Tarek.
I tend to stutter a little bit.
Explaining it in Tarkovsky's Clone Wars.
Yeah, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there.
Grievous to this day is.
Actually, there's one bit with Grievous I have to get to. What is this? Oh, let's see here. So see you have a cameo. Diet Coke Batman is back. Diet Coke.
There's John DiMaggio and Richard McGorgle brought to the Clone Wars. Wood is my personal favorite, given.
Let's see here.
But not only being a member of the Actors Guild and being signed up for Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins make him unavailable, but
yeah, I heard about that. I don't know if Canada's going to be getting that. I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Gary Oldman himself being tired of his typecasting playing villains and wanted to explore other roles in acting. Really the hero after pulling that off surprisingly with Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. While it would be cool to see Gary take on the role, Matthew Wood left a great impression on the film and was namely the hero after pulling that off surprisingly.
Let's see here.
Plus, didn't Gary Oldman already play a spidery sci-fi villain?
Oh yeah, I bring up Dr. Smith from Lost in Space. Just so I can make a call back to the critics. Spiders!
Plus, didn't Gary Oldman already play a spidery sci-fi villain? Spiders!
I know, I'm just gonna make a call back to Dr. Smith. An old joke, but I don't care, it's funny.
Spiders!
Can I be honest and say the Diet Coke Batman bits in both the Tim Burton Batman reviews are my least favorite segments, that I skip them when I rewatch them? That's okay, Osiris. I mean, I call him Diet. I don't really call him Diet Coke Batman. I just call him Diet Batman. It's just a character I came up with because I just thought, you know, I'd throw my hand at making funny Batman videos because I always like Forest Fire 101 and what he does. And what I do like is actually my favorite skit. I love that there's like I should do a whole compilation of just Diet Batman eventually when I get more done. But there's one in Dean's review. I can't remember which review, but it's him and Robin, and it's really funny. I'm surprised how well that came out.
Well, it would be cool to see Gary take on the role. He would have left a great impression on the film. And while some fans also love what voice actors John DiMaggio and Richard McGorgle brought to the Clone Wars, Wood is my personal favorite, given he's the most consistent. No, I'm not the biggest fan of the coughing. This was actually Lucas doing a cough, given he was suffering a bit of a cold at the time, and they decided to make it a character, not to mention explaining it into
"Oh my god, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life!"
Tarkovsky's Clone Wars. Grievous to this day is one of the most loved villains in Star Wars, and left the villain of the villains in Star.
Let's get there. Here we go.
Villains in Star Wars, and left a great impression on audiences and fans.
Yeah, no worries, man. That was fun to do.
Despite like much other villains in this trilogy feeling like needing more, with feeling like trilogy.
Let's see here.
Do you feel like you're needing more with a premature death? So uncivilized.
I gotta put that in. I've also, listen, one of the best things about seeing Revenge of the Sith was just knowing the memes. He's not a Sith Lord, he's just a droid commander, and he's trained in Jedi arts by Dooku. Not under the Sith, he's just mainly just in saber combat. So he's not really pronoun to using any kind of like powers or anything, like any like dark side powers or whatever. So there's that basically. Okay, so we got number 7 done. Now we're on number 8. Oh god, yeah, this is gonna be a long review, and we're gonna try to get as much as we can done today on that. So let's just see what we can do here.
But this movie.
A little blooper there.
This movie is called Revenge.
Yeah, here's where I think I bring up Palpatine here. Spied!
But this movie is called Revenge of the Sith for a reason, and it's not for the return of Darth Vader, or Count Dooku, nor the villains as a whole, or even for the rise of the Empire. But it's called Revenge of the Sith for one reason only. It's the revenge only.
Yeah, that's where we talk. That's where we talk about Palpatine.
It's the
you can send it via Instagram. That'd be the best way.
It's the revenge of Sidious, aka Chancellor Palpatine, aka the fucking Emperor. At long last.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, we're getting there, guys.
Emperor. At long last, the transformation is.
No worries, man. Thank you so much for that super chat, Xandrew. Really appreciate the help. Honestly, you do God's work, man. Which Spider-Man movie is the worst? The first, the second, or the third? In the original Raimi trilogy? I mean, on a technical term, Spider-Man 3 is worse for behind-the-scenes problems. But honestly, it's okay. It's okay. I don't have a dental. I might have a couple weeks. No worries, man. Which dino-like Zords would win in a death battle? I don't know. Maybe the Tyrannosaur would be cool. Yeah, he had a really tragic backstory.
Is complete as the Phantom Menace at long last, the transformation is complete. As the Phantom Menace has complete.
There's one thing I'm surprised I learned about in the 2 days before I saw Revenge of the Sith theaters. Most Siths all have yellow eyes, but Count Dooku is the only Sith with no yellow eyes. Because he also has a lot of self-control. I think that's why Palpatine liked him. He liked the fact that he was more sophisticated. Okay, I don't know what the hell this is. On Twitch, there's like a Twitch here. I'm just gonna... Yeah, that's gonna be blocked. That's like some person on Twitch who was just leaving some stuff there. Remember Birdman's character for McDonald? I kind of do. That was kind of funny, though. I haven't watched any of the Daredevil stuff. A man has fallen into the river in Lego Jurassic World. He's fallen into the river. Hey!
As the Phantom Menace himself avenges the old Lord Sith to take control of the galaxy, and all of that, the galaxy, and
here we go.
Control of the galaxy, and all of that is credited to Ian McDiarmid in his best performance as the character. This is Palpatine.
Here we go. No worries, Dean. Good luck, okay?
As the character. This is Palpatine.
Yeah, it's not been that great, to be honest. That's why I love that Revenge of the Sith has actually been saying this is what we want in Star Wars.
This is Palpatine's movie. He has full control of this picture and is an absolute delight to watch. To watch is delight.
Alright.
To watch his evilness leak off the screen. Ian is having fucking ball here. He is consuming so much of it, there is literally no set.
Yeah, we're getting there, guys.
There is literally no scenery left to chew. Not even Tim Curry can chew this.
Oh!
Really no scenery left to chew. Not even Tim Curry can chew this much scenery. Though granted, he was the original choice for Palpatine in Return of the Jedi before Ian takeover, and eventually played him in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, so I found this out too. Apparently Tim Curry auditioned for Palpatine back in '83 on Return of the Jedi, but lost to Ian McDiarmid. And then eventually, when the end of the Clone Wars happened, like the show, basically, the actor who plays Palpatine, the voice actor in the run of the 3D Clone Wars, he passed away halfway through the production of Season 5. So Tim took over, and that was actually Tim's last major voice acting role before his unfortunate medical thing, before his stroke. And granted, for the time he was given, he was a great Palpatine. Like, absolutely fantastic.
And eventually played him in the Clone Wars. Clone Wars series.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen or heard Tim's voice as Palpatine. Let me see if I can find something here. Let me see if I can find a clip. Let's see here. Let's try. Let's see in this scene here if I can find a clip from the show. Oh, here. I think here, maybe? Let me see here. Let's just see if I can find a clip here. Let me see here. Hang on. Oh, here. Okay. I'm gonna pull up this clip from the Clone Wars. This was in season 5. Now, I think while this was cool to hear Tim as Palpatine, he's actually really good. Let me just try to find it here. Share screen here, and share. But yeah, this is amazing. Listen to this. This is Tim as Palpatine, okay? And he is actually really, really good in this. Very quickly. Just gonna try to skip through this here. Right here.
Let him go. Let him die. And you can stop all that I will do.
Oh, he's having way too much fun. So there you go. That's Tim Curry doing Palpatine. I'm gonna play it one more time. It's so good.
Let him go. Let him die. And you can stop all that I will do.
That was his last major voice role. I'm glad he finally got to play Palpatine. Can you imagine him doing these lines in Return of the Jedi where he's like, "No, young Skywalker, you will die." Would have been amazing. Or no, that scene in Revenge of the Sith. The oppression of the Sith will never return. You have lost. And Tim's just like, no, you will die. You will die. It would have been great. Oh, but I'm glad Tim got to play him. That's so cool. But yeah, about the second half of season 5, he was Darth Sidious, and he was so good in that. Like, I think that's just hilarious that Tim got to play that part. All right, back to business here, guys. Okay.
Ironic.
Let's see here. Hang on. Yeah, because I think I'm going to go back and go, waha, waha. I'm just going to add that in later. Anyway.
It's clear that George Lucas, while directing Ian in many important scenes with on the important scene.
Here we go.
With on-the-nose dialogue and delivery, he let him off the leash a little and let him go all out as the Sith Lord. From his sinister manipulation of Anakin to playing the entire Senate in his outlandish the entire Senate.
There we go.
To his outlandish fight scenes with Mace Windu and Yoda, Palpatine is on top form and just being evil and form.
Here we go.
And just being evil and loving every minute of it. Not only does Ian act his heart out, but also return his heart out.
Here we go. I wonder if other dinosaurs were in the Battle Tornado. There actually were. There was a T-Rex. There was a Spinosaur. There was the Spinosaur. There was Triceratops. There were a couple that weren't seen. That's actually an interesting question. I want to bring this up because I do want to talk about AI for a sec. That's a good question. I see AI. A lot of people have issues with AI and the controversies behind it as a tool. I don't see it as a full-on way to make movies. I don't like that concept. I don't like how you can just press a button and get a movie. I really hate that notion. And also, I don't think the technology would ever be there, and I hope it doesn't. But I see AI as a tool. I see AI as a way to make filmmaking a little easier. It doesn't replace actors. It doesn't replace special effects. It even either it's going to enhance it or it's going to be used as templates. I like the idea of using AI for templates, for concept art. Like, okay, like it still takes away actual concept art, but if you're a one-man crew, like there are certain rules to it. I think voices, like voice filters are interesting. I think digitally there's some interesting stuff. I will, in answer to your question, Great Man, yes, there is some AI we use a little bit, like the smallest percentage in these prequels. I would say max about 5%. There's a little bit of a 5% AI enhancement with stuff, but we use it appropriately where it's allowing us to tell the story we want to tell. So make of that what you will. We are really not committed to say, let's do it all in AI. It'll solve all our problems. Like, I even had a friend of mine do a couple of proof of concepts of, here, I can do this whole shot using AI. And while it was very impressive, I'm not going to lie, it was impressive the way he was able to program it, I personally did not really feel that comfortable. Like, I didn't feel comfortable with using the full shots because I feel like it took away a little bit, so I kind of rejected the shot. It was impressive, it's nice, but it's not something I was really interested in like using fully. Well, I appreciate the effort. I feel like there is still more better when it comes to using it for like little tweaks and enhancements and for little stuff, especially if you're a one-man crew. It's fine. Like, that's sort of my take on it. I played the Crash games. They're okay. But yeah, so there's my take on AI. Good question.
Now, but also returning his transfer.
That's a really good question about AI. I actually like that one. But yeah, I've played a few of them. There was like maybe one or two Stegosauruses.
There in his transformation as we saw him in Return of the Jedi. But much more.
Well, it's interesting about the dinosaurs in the battle. They were loaned from InGen. That was my idea. The Battle of Toronto, Misa, is the big fight that happened in Ready Player One. In fact, if you were not aware of this battle, let me pull it up. Let me actually grab it quickly. We'll take a nice little gander at it again. Why not? Let's see here. Let me go to let's see here. Let me just go quickly to that fight so you get an idea of what we're talking about. Here. If you not heard this fight, it's kind of interesting. If you want more, I would recommend going to see my Ready Player One review, and also the BigJackFilms, the movie The Great War, because that's where we had it. Let me try to go here. Hang on a sec. I go to where it starts. Yeah, here. Let me just go here. So you get an idea. Like, again, if you haven't seen this, our 10th anniversary special, you definitely should. Let me just go here. There were a couple battles at Toronto. It was originally the whole thing with the Empire, but it's mainly the Ready Player One thing. Let me see here. Let me just go to share screen. Go here, share here. But you can see it here, basically. This was the battle.
Holy shit! It's Spider-Man!
I should do maybe like a live commentary from kind of cool. I definitely do.
Hey, sis.
How like all plays out when I But yeah, it was just the whole thing. There was like this whole battle that happened. It was like what this battle is, what it was basically. Oh god, it's just fun to think about. It's just that just to bring up the dinosaurs. I think that's right about here. Here. of like where that all happened. In case you're wondering, like, well, what was the Great War? It was basically that, or it was the, you know, the Battle of Toronto. It was that. That's what that was. In case you're wondering. So that was sort of the idea we did. I don't want to see live watch parties of your reviews, Jack. That's the thing. Like, I mean, I've seen Linkara and stuff. Yeah. Avicien was in the Godzilla vs. Kong review. But yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot to work on those episodes. But like, I've thought about doing the live commentary, kind of like what Linkara did on his stuff for storylines. I just get a couple of the crew in to talk about it. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Jedi, but much more horrific and devil-looking. In fact, that was Lucas's intention here. Take the audience directly to fucking hell and confront. Take the audience here.
Here we go. Okay. Uh-oh. I had a crash there. Hold on a sec. Share screen. There we go. See? What the fuck? Oh, that's weird. That is really weird. Hang on. Stop sharing screen. Okay. Oh, there we go. We just had a bit of a crash there. Yeah, it was kind of crazy, Nissan. You should go watch it. It was really cool. And if you want to condense sort of like what the plot is all together, go watch Spectro's video on the history of the Reviewers. It's quite interesting. Let's see here. Let me try to fix that, because that was weird that it kind of just like stopped there for a sec. There we go. Okay. So just gotta quickly check chats. I'm just gonna quickly check in on something one moment, guys. Just bear with me. One moment, guys. Angry Video Game Nerd first appeared on one King Kong video games, and that was BigJackFilms and Godzilla vs. Kong. There you go. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying. Yeah, James is always good to work with. It's possible. I don't think so, because I don't really know that universe well, so I don't think so.
Take the audience directly to fucking hell and take the.
There we go.
In here, take the audience directly to hell and confronting, plus making a pact to hell and confronting.
Yeah.
Plus making a pact with the devil himself, which he succeeded himself.
Here we go.
Which he succeeded in representation. Next to Tim Curry as the Lord of Darkness and Legend, Legend.
Here we go. There were other dinosaurs, yes. So I guess you could confirm that for sure. Stop motion. I'm honestly okay with watch. You have to point as long as you have the video cut short and just have full rest on Patreon. Yeah, like that, and also like I do plan to do an actual full commentary on the movie portion of Ready Player One. I just don't know when yet. Make time for it. I'm definitely gonna have more time after Star Wars. That's a given.
Anakin is Space Jesus? Then Palpatine Jesus?
Okay.
Then Palpatine is Space Lucifer / Satan incarnate.
You underestimate my power!
And it's really...
Let's see here.
And it's really chilling to watch. Even even if at times Ian is hamming it up a bit and being a tad silly.
Yeah, I'll say this. When me and Josh saw the movie over the weekend, Palpatine, I'm sorry, there's times he's funny. It's hilarious. Like, I will never forget that one fucking shot. Hang on a sec. You guys know the shot. Let me here for a sec. Pull out the lightsaber. I pull out a lightsaber here for a sec so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But when Palpatine, he's fighting Mace Windu. And hang on a second, I'm just trying to see here. There's one shot that's just hilarious. Watch, this is gonna be the thumbnail. There's that one shot where he's fighting Mace Windu, and he literally just does this where he's looking at Mace and he's like, oh. I don't know why this face just like, why is that so funny? It's so silly. What are you doing, man? Stop! This is hilarious. Oh my god. Oh, that's funny to me. That will never not be funny. Like, I have always laughed my ass off at that part. Oh, God. Oh, my God, it's funny. Oh, it's funny. Oh, my God. Just fucking Palpatine doing that. Actually, that would be awesome. I know, it's funny because when we did, you know what, I can show this right now. Let me quickly go to my archives on Ready Player One. Because when we did we actually had previs. Like, we had storyboards and animatics made to help better guide the battles and stuff. And a lot of it was provided by Thomas, Harold the Vortis on YouTube. Because he was actually able to give us animatics and previs to work with in terms of making the fight and battle happen. I'm just trying to see if I have any kind of animatic. Do I? Oh shit! You know, I don't think I have any of the animatics. Let me just check here. Battle? No, that's BTS. Bloopers. No, Plinkett. Just give me a sec. Let me see if I can find this stuff. Pre-production? No. Okay, that's strange. But he provided a lot of animatics and previs that helped us better. Here, previs. Here we go. That helped us like kind of guide the battle to make it really work. And and because he has like a lot of Legos and shit, he was actually able to create like sort of a guideline to how the fight would work. Okay, it's not here for some reason. Okay, what the fuck? One moment, guys. Let me just see if I can find this thing. Hold up. No. No. I'm just trying to see if I have the footage first and foremost. Oh, here. Okay, I can show this. I can show this stuff. Hold on a sec. Let me pull this up. So this is just a prime example of the previs he did in terms of like create. He helped me like create a lot of the stuff that made the whole thing like better. So let me just go here. So he used Legos to help better like create it, and it helped like frame shots and everything. So this is one of the previses he created. So I'm just gonna show you guys this quickly. I'm also just gonna kind of keep the music down. But he did this whole previs for me. I didn't have a script, and yet okay, this was not planned. I did not have him planned on writing a Indominus Rex. That was never a plan. Thomas just threw that in there, and I was just like, oh, shit. A little over the top, but I thought it was fun. I just told him, have fun, go crazy with visuals, show me what you got, came up with this. You know, it was really interesting. But a lot of this was what he wrote, what he did in terms of the animatic, like the sort of like previs of how it was going to look, and a lot of this did help in creating how shots were going to be. So kudos to him. Like, he was able to, because he has a lot of this stuff, so he was able to provide this to make like sort of a template of what the battle would look like. But this is all just previs stuff that he threw in there that really helped set things up. And it did help. Like, it did help better structure things. So it was a huge hand in making all of this work. So that's sort of what he originally came up with. And do I have another scene I can show? Oh yeah, I love he even did his own endgame shot. He was even like doing endgame shots for it. Let me just see here. Here, check this out. He was doing his own endgame, which is like really cool. Check this out. Watch this. Like, that's amazing. And he has all that. It's so cool. Like, he was just coming up with shots like this for me, and it really was used as a good animatic for creating visuals and creating like the previs in that whole thing. So you give huge props. Harold the Vortis on YouTube. That is his handle, and he was just such a helping hand. Here's another quick shot he did in the previs, and you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. I might someday, actually, if there's interest. But this is just sort of like, again, the shots he would create is all in here. And he even did like the Avengers Assemble. Like, I love this. Like, this shot for, so there's me, and there's all these characters. 18's there, Luke, Goku. There were more characters planned. It was me, it was 18, it was Sailor Moon, Harley Quinn, Superman, the Titans, Hulk, Luke, Thor, or was it Captain America, Iron Man, Aragorn, Goku. They were all going to help in this fight. Like, that was so cool that he would come up with shots like that to really, actually, I'll show another animatic too. I'll show a couple of these quickly, and then we'll get back to work quickly. But this is what one of the animatics looked like originally, and this was all done through was it digital storyboards. So I'll just play this quickly. But this was the this was sort of the previs animatic of what it was going to look like. So I did a lot of PNGs. So that's the thing. You can make your movie on a very minuscule budget and showcase it in a way that like is a rough patch, but it gets people the idea visually of what you're going. But this then actually, yes, there was originally going to be Rita. It wasn't originally going to be Lord Zed. But because Rita wasn't available, we got Lord Zed instead. But you can see how this is all going to look when it's all done. I even had to do the voices.
The southern enemies. It would be an honor to lead the charge in your name.
I love it's like some of the voices were provided early.
Let alone the country itself. Did you not see the attempt in January?
They were inbred scum. That was just adorable.
Now but what I love too is like you compare it to the final cut. If I could go to like the final cut of it, I'll show you guys. I'll go back and forth so you could get an idea of like what it was like to do like that final cut. Just go to where that scene is in the film. So just to compare and contrast, you know. Let me just go back here. Let me go back here. One moment. So here, I'm just gonna replay this quickly. So right here, let's see here. So I'll go back and forth of how it looks compared to like the animatic and then the final cut. But this is how it looked. Here's the animatic.
My lord, how long till we invade the southern enemies? It would be an honor to lead the charge in your name.
You red-coated fool! You are not even past the Manhattan port, let alone the country itself. Did you not see the attempt in January?
They were inbred scum. That was just adorable.
So that's the animatic. Now let's go over to the final cut, and you can see how it compares and contrasts.
But how long until you plan to invade those bloody Americans? It would be an honor if I were to lead the charge in your name.
You fool! You are not even past the Manhattan port, let alone the country itself. Did you not see the attempt in January?
Oh, you mean by those inbred scum? That was adorable.
So you can see, like, contrast in, like, where it goes from, it basically goes from, you know, animatic to Final Cut. And it follows it pretty damn close, essentially, which is really, really cool. That is essentially how that kind of comes out. And so animatics and storyboards and, you know, previs is a very important way to structure your story. And you could also go and get your first cut in where it's all like put together and you see how the pace is. What, like Osiris brought this up with pacing, that this does help your pacing to have an animatic, so you can easily cut stuff that you feel, oh, that doesn't work, but you can still like fit as much as you can into the story. So that's sort of like a little filmmaking tool for you guys too, is to always create previs, because it will help better structure and show a proof of concept of what you're going for in your story. So that's sort of like a little tip for you guys in terms of filmmaking, is just do that, because that's just a lot easier. And I hope that actually helps. There's a little less. I should just do a whole film course on here. That'd be kind of fun to do. Anyway, let's get back to editing. But I think it was a good, like, I will maybe at some point release the previs of a lot of these projects, because they are really cool to do. They were really awesome to put together. But yeah, and yeah, that was Captain Roth, who was in the Mask of Zorro review. It was played by Evan Matthews. And also, oh, speaking of, thank you. You know, I couldn't find the link for some reason, but guys, go check out my girl's website, resiliencyandme.com. It does help my girlfriend out. Her website helps kids in low-income housing get therapy, especially right now. A lot of mental health is necessary in today's world. So that is definitely something I would recommend everybody following. I'm actually going to move it here so I can keep it on stream so you guys can check it out. But yeah, there's a little behind the scenes thing there for you. But yeah, I'll just leave that on there for you guys so you can check that out. And yeah, anyway, let's get back to it.
We kind of fun within. You're kind of having. You're kind of having fun with them as you watch it. Not only that poor.
There we go. Also, guys, I think I'm going to call it in about 15 minutes, because I do have a couple things to do. So,
and as you watch it, not only that poor Ian was just. Not only that.
Roth was more of an inspiration. He was based on characters that like somebody like Basil Rathbone would play. Basil Rathbone was a popular actor in the golden age of cinema, playing a lot of bad guys on screen, but he got his first major gig being one of the first major actors to play Sherlock Holmes. And throughout his career, he was also an Olympic fencer. So in Swashbucklers, he actually got to play a lot of iconic roles. You guys might recognize, if you watch Cinemassacre's Monster Madness, Basil Rathbone was famous for playing Son of Frankenstein. You know that line where it's like, is it the old legendary monster of my father's time, or am I supposed to whip one up? So he's in that, but he also was really good at playing villains. He was like the Krennic of his time. He played Sir Guy of Gisborne in The Adventures of Robin Hood. He was Errol Flynn's combatant in Captain Blood, where he's like, you won't take her while I'm living. And he's like, then I'll take you when you're dead. And then in The Mark of Zorro with Tyrone Power, he played Capitan Pasquale, Esteban Pasquale, who was like the lead commander of those bad guys. And in Zorro, it's one of the best fight scenes of all time, is between him and Tyrone Power. And what's really cool is Basil Rath, so he's based on that, but the name Roth came from actor Tim Roth. it came from actor Tim Roth, who I've always been a fan of when he was typecast as villains in the 90s. Most of you might know him from Tarantino films like Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. He was the guy who was like, everybody be cool, this is a robbery. But he played one of the best villains ever in Rob Roy with Liam Neeson and Jessica Lange. And he plays an absolute bastard. And what I love is he's just like, he's such a great villain actor. He was also in The Musketeer. He was in The Incredible Hulk. He played Abomination. He's in a lot of stuff. And so Captain Roth, his name was based on Tim Roth, but with the charismatics of the characters Tim Roth played, plus Basil Rathbone. Like, a lot of that look was what I was going for, because I always loved the evil captain of the guard in any of those Renaissance-based films, because they're always a delight. Like, I mean, you guys know Disney, Prince and the Pauper, Captain Pete, that's another great one. Like, characters like that I've always loved as villains. So to see Evan, because the thing is, I remember when I did Kong, I had him on as a villain, and both him and Jake worked so well. I said, oh, the next project I do, I got to get you as a major villain. So that's where I brought Evan in. And actually, that was his last performance for the show, because he actually moved to the United States. He's happily married. He's living his good life down there. Wish him all the best. I check in with him all the time. But he left on a good high note there. So yeah, you know, Evan, if you're watching, we hope you're doing well. Also, super chat thrown in from Lance Darkwater. Thank you so much. That goes up to 54. Awesome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. That's amazing. Thank you so much, man. Just letting you know, I'm still getting things done here. Us too, man. Us too. Let's see here. I think I remember you showed an animatic that had Scarf and Lion King as part of the evil guy. Yeah, like, it was one of the early versions, and it's since been like, it changed. Actually, that was one of the original endings for him. We originally wanted him to get eaten by Bruce, the shark, but his minions, his henchmen, his guards got eaten. I've teamed up with Orca. And, but then I thought, you know what? I need to get Godzilla to do one more attack. So just obliterate him. I thought that was perfect. It was like a great way to end it. It was our backup ending, and we chose the backup ending. But yeah, it's kind of fascinating how things like that change over time, which is like really interesting. Anyway, let's get back to it. And again, guys, please go check out my girl's website, resiliencymedia.com. It really would help. Let me just see here. Where'd it go? Try to go up the comments. Osiris, can you relink that? Thank you. Oh, here we go. There we go. Thank you so much. There we go. But yeah, guys, that's sort of the story behind that, which is cool. Anyway, let's get back to it. We got 10 minutes left.
Watch it. Not only that, Thornton was described to by Lucas and as his character being the fastest, was described to by Lucas.
There we go. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember when that was, but that was one of the ideas. I don't think it made the script, though. I don't think it made any of the drafts.
Described to by Lucas as his character being the fastest and most lethal. Fastest.
All right. Yeah, also, guys, remember, my foot's still hurting, so.
And most lethal saber wielder in the galaxy, which Ian couldn't do much of given his age.
Okay.
Nick Gallaghar and Kyle Rowling.
Here we go.
His age. Nick Gallaghar and Kyle Rowling brought in a really good stunt double for Ian McDiarmid and Michael Burns.
What villains did you originally have in mind to be part of the Evil Council? I mean, again, one of them was Rita Repulsa, but unfortunately the actress that we shot on our Power Rangers episode had retired the costume, so she was unavailable, so we got Lord Zed instead, and thankfully I found a really good cosplayer who did Lord Zed. He came in on green screen for a day, and he was fantastic, so we got him instead. There was also, I mean, I'll say this as a little good news. Might be a chance Rita might be coming back. So let's see what happens there. Sauron and Thanos are in the Phantom Zone because they fucked up so much that Gallaghar doesn't trust them with anything when it comes to evil shit. Let's see. That's it. Yeah, exactly. That's fantastic.
With a last name like that, you know he's... And with a last name... Burns. And with a last name like that, you know he's perfectly cast in evil.
Let's see here.
Mr. Burns.
Yeah, I gotta do a Mr. Burns joke there.
Mr. Burns.
I'm gonna just bring a Mr. Burns joke there.
Who did the majority of the speed?
Alright, here we go.
Mr. Burns, who did the majority of the speed and swings in all of Palpatine's fight scenes and did help in showcasing the lethal force of the Dark Lord of the Sith. All of this and more.
Okay, we're getting there, guys.
All of this and more provided some of the character's best moments in the saga. But the captain of this ship still is fully credited to Ian McDiarmid being a class act and being...
I'm going to try to finish up this thing today, and then we're going to call it a night.
Being a class act. As a true villain of cinema, plus one of my favorite bad guys of all time, in the ultimate threat for the franchise as a whole.
Yeah, even though like I didn't like what they did with him in Rise, even though I didn't like what they did with him in Rise of Skywalker, I did like how they brought it full circle back to Palpatine.
And yeah, I agree with most people that the Opera House scene is one of the best in the whole trilogy, and one of the best Star Wars moments in general.
There we go.
It hits so much, it sets up so much. It hits so much, it hits so much, it sets up so much, it showcases how manipulative Palpatine is, it shows how vulnerable and weak Anakin is and his lust for power.
Answer to your question, Osiris, yes. That was the Raptor suits we were going to use on Kong, and unfortunately due to scheduling, that never happened. So we finally got to use it on Jurassic Park some 10 years later. I can't really name... I think I got most of them. It was mainly just to focus on the villains that we had seen before on the show. Any of them that had shown up were going to be a part of it.
Power, and the symbolism in the opera itself does showcase in a way Anakin's origins and how the Force works with the midichlorians. In a way, Lucas kind of fixed that problem that was prominent in The Phantom Menace.
I've never seen those. I don't think I've ever seen those. Wait, what, like, date movie, epic movie, disaster movie, Meet the Spartans, is that what you mean?
And it's something that, unfortunately, I don't think even today Star Wars is really that interested in. Seriously, imagine this happening now. It wouldn't be that good. Seriously, imagine this happening now. It wouldn't be that good. But maybe someday, Disney and... maybe...
I don't know. I mean, I'm the only one. I just discovered that he watched my content. It's like, Dork, I'm the Claw. I'm still waiting for part 3. I'm still waiting for you to rip that apart. Honestly, Dork's amazing. I've actually kind of helped him out a little bit, supported him a little bit. Like, he's a good guy, all things considered.
But maybe someday, Disney and perhaps Kathleen Kennedy can learn from their mistakes and learn from their mistakes.
Let's see here. We're almost done.
From their mistakes and actually give us something as powerful as a simple scene like this.
Okay, let's see here.
This is where we do the scene.
Okay. So, all right, so that's going to be it for today. We got a big track stuff there, like so far 22 minutes, and we're not even halfway. Revenge of the Sith is going to be a monster. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be insane. But yeah, guys, I think we're going to call it here for the night. It's very short but sweet because I have a couple things I have to do tonight. But I really appreciate everybody coming in today. So, of course, a huge thank you to, where's the super chats? I don't know why I can't see super chats on here. But to Xandrew Productions, Toon King, Lance Darkwater, anybody who supported us via super chat today, we really appreciate the help. Really do appreciate your commitment and helping out and everything. It was fantastic. But guys, I will see y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow night at 9:00 p.m. is the upcoming review of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and it's going to be amazing. It's an hour and 32 minutes, or an hour and 34 minutes technically, but guys, it's going to be fantastic. Cannot wait to show you what's been going on. Like, honestly, 6 years. It's cost us a lot to make, but you guys are in for a fun time. It's the first major episode of the year, so that's a plus. It's our return back to reviews, but really looking forward for you guys to seeing the first chapter of this trilogy, and we'll tune in for that. I'm going to leave you with a final promo for a couple more minutes on episode 1, but again, tune in tomorrow at 9:00. It's gonna be amazing. And until next time, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. BigJackFilms signing off, and I'm just gonna go turn on this particular promo, and we're going to end the night. So good night, guys. I'll see you guys later. Take it easy and have a good
It will
day.
be a hard life. One without reward, without remorse, without regret. A path will be placed before you. The choice is yours alone. Do what you think you cannot do. It will be a hard life, but you will find out who you are. It will be a hard life, one without reward, without remorse, without regret. A path will be placed before you. The choice is yours alone. Do what you think you cannot do. It will be a hard life, but you will find out who you are.